Rob and Robbo.
Streaming across the globe, Ben Norris, Rob McKnight, and David Robinson.
Ben, Rob and Robbo. News and views, entertainment news. It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo. Ben, Rob and Robbo Show. Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show. Here's Rob McKnight.
Hey! Welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show. How are we, everyone? Welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show. It's a crazy couple of days, and if there was a lady named Amanda, I would suggest that the audio from Abby's wide shot camera is coming through. Just put that bit off, and then you'll be right. The magic. I tell you what, Ben Norris and David Robinson are with me as we are on location from the Brisbane Holiday Village.
I never go on holidays anywhere. If I do, it's only here at the Brisbane Holiday Village. Brisbane Holiday Village,
There's actually some truth to that.
It's the only holiday you can afford because you get it for free.
That's kind of what I was alluding to, but you're exactly right. He's right.
Now, Robbo, tell me about this. Not only, I mean, if you saw yesterday's show, we had a lot of technical issues. There are literally 5 people working on this show, and that includes 3 hosts, and we are here doing a live OB, Ben, and we're actually seeing each other in the flesh, and I can touch and feel both of you.
Expect to hear from my lawyers.
Now, Robbo, there's a DJ in that.
Oh, there is. And look, I was hoping you would say this because I need to go there right now. Rory, fire up those bloody speakers.
How is that for you?
I would have kept going, but Rory got puffed, so I wanted to come back so Rory didn't get.
I thought you were going to have a John Candy moment at the end there.
Oh,
But like I still have you.
having some kind of moment. Great thing is, unlike yesterday, we needed an umbrella. Now we need wet towels, which is exactly what these are. Jeff takes care of us. Well, that's got makeup on it. I don't. Yeah, that's fine. That's me. But yeah, good on you, Rory.
Oh, jeez. Well, we are, as you can tell, having a lot of fun at the Brisbane Holiday Village. Last night we had dinner together for the first time since before we launched the show.
Yeah.
All of us, the whole team, Amanda, Abby, the kids came along.
Well, originally we were going to invite the kids, and then Robbo, you were going to be sad if they couldn't be there.
Yeah.
No, look, to be honest, no, they're in the audience. No, I loved them. I loved that they were here. No, that was wonderful. The kids are here with Mum there. We can see them there. Eloise, there's Jazzy. So yeah, no, they were fantastic, and we were just so lucky to have them at our dinner because they're just so quiet.
I think when we've got, other people there, they're better behaved because I
Oh, I
thought
love
they were
them.
really well behaved.
Yeah, no, I love
I
them.
mean, you were the only one drinking out of a gravy boat.
That's true. It's true.
Who's
It's
the
what
big
I do.
kid at the table?
Yeah, and beautiful gravy here at the Brisbane Holiday Village. If you want to get some great gravy, head to brisbaneholidayvillage.com.au. It is fantastic.
And the garlic bread.
And the garlic bread, seriously.
Seriously.
Forget about it.
And tomorrow, Ashmore Palms Holiday Village is going to be amazing because that's where some people that have said they're coming to the show are actually staying.
Mm-hmm.
So we're expecting some audience members turning up tomorrow.
So not just your parents.
And Amanda drove up from Sydney.
Oh, yeah. Can I just quickly say, after the show yesterday,
My mum is listening.
I need to quickly say this, and that is that yesterday after the show I got a chance to speak to Amanda and hear how she got here. 12 hours on a motorcycle, and if you saw the weather on this show yesterday, you'll have some idea about how wet her shoes and her gloves were. But Amanda brought them over to me and I felt them, and she's lucky to be here.
Yeah, very, very wet.
Yeah, but we managed to get them to come to the show, which is great, which means that there's actually people watching.
Yeah. Wait, is there?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have worn this if I knew people were actually watching the show.
Can you explain this top? Because yesterday we were having a conversation about this. So
Turak Ben doesn't know what Lowe's is. Do you know what Lowe's?
I know what Lowe's is.
I don't think they
Does everyone know what Lowe's is?
I had never
Never seen the
heard.
commercial?
No.
Usually export. Maybe it's a Sydney thing.
No, it's everywhere. It's Australia-wide. Lowe's is everywhere.
Where are they? Look,
It's usually
I'm gonna get called out for
ex-footballers
this.
going, where do you get the best prizes? At Lowe's.
okay, well they're already just advertising to the wrong person. I mean, are they wearing short shorts? I might watch it if that was the case.
I tell you what, we're going well with our hot topics, but quickly get through your Lowe's story.
Lowe's.com.au.
Right. But
Yeah.
this outfit though, people can go and get it themselves.
Oh, they can.
And
And
they
it
too
matches.
can be David Robinson.
Yeah, you can match, you know, and then it's...
And let me tell you, the curtains match the drapes.
Yeah.
Well, we just saw with Rory. Rory was slapping my drapes. Sorry,
All
Rory.
right, we have a lot to cover in today's show. Livinia Nixon is joining us a little later, which is going to be fantastic.
She's having a swim at the moment, so we're gonna give her a towel. We're gonna give her a moment to dry
She's
off.
actually in Melbourne because she's doing the carols by candlelight, and we'll have a bit of a chat with her. But look, I need to get to some news stories because there's actually quite a lot happening. And it's finally official. The US Electoral College has certified Joe Biden as the next president of the United States. Only hours ago, US Attorney General Bill Barr announced he would be stepping down from the role just before Christmas. That's a huge development just happening. Apart from that announcement, President Trump has yet to publicly comment on Biden's certified win. What else has happened is that the Republicans, a member of the Republican Party in the House, has also come out and tried to certify alternative votes. So they actually said, so you have the Electoral College certifying votes, they go into the courthouse, they hand in their votes. Well, the Republicans tried to hand in some key states alternative votes. It's like alternative facts. They actually tried to hand in these alternative votes for Trump, even though these were not certified Electoral College votes. They were denied entry. But look, one person in particular is very happy that Trump is out. Will and Grey star Deborah Messing, but she's under fire for a tweet she posted about Trump a few days ago that ended with the line, and I quote, "I hope you live a long life in prison where you will become the most popular boyfriend to all the inmates." As you would expect, many were outraged by the comment, calling it homophobic. The actor has since responded to the tweet saying, "I'd like to say I have been an LGBTQIA ally for some time, for decades in fact, and I was in no way referencing LGBTQI/queer love/sexuality. It is not my proudest moment, but at 45, that's President 45, Trump, has victimized hundreds of millions of people. I had wished the tables turned on him. I apologize for the offensive way I did it." Ben, sometimes people are trying to make points. Trump has, people are saying, caused a lot of death and mayhem, and she was making the point that I hope you get what's coming, and obviously Trump, a Republican, would not like to be gay, and she's used that as a punishment on him. Is that fair enough?
I actually find Deborah Messing to be an absolute pain. I used to
I
follow
actually
her
agree with-
on
yeah.
social media, and I think that she has like one of those part-time memberships to the LGBTQIA+. She doesn't necessarily always come across that way. There's no secret in the fact that she was the only cast member to not get along with the cast and crew on the show. And I would say, at the end of the day, she's obviously following the Kardashians' theory of what do I need to do for attention? Because does she really care about politics? I don't really think so. I think she's sitting there with the money that she made from the queer community and is coming out saying whatever she can to get a headline. Now, if she wanted to do something that was good for the community and she wanted to do it right, there's plenty of other ways that you can protest and support. And I just thought that that tweet was disgusting. And if we're going to label Donald Trump's tweets down the bottom with things that say this is not accurate or it's not okay, then I think we should start doing that to celebrities like her. Get her off.
That's very interesting. I like you. I actually still do.
You like
follow-
me? He likes me. Oh my God, 137
nice-
episodes and one flight to the Gold Coast. And
You're turning my words. I meant I like you. I do like you, man. I do like you. What I follow her on Twitter. I'm on the verge of stopping because I just find her cray-cray, and I just find I agree with a lot of what you're saying. It's interesting. Would you be okay if she said, I hope you get a blunt object in the head?
Look, I think anything that's violent or anything that's of this caliber is not appropriate. I mean, you can have your opinion and be factual without it coming to terms like this. And that's her problem. She doesn't want to speak her truth in normal day language. She's looking for something that's going to incite and polarize people. And I don't necessarily think she's being genuine. And at the end of the day, that is my biggest problem with celebrities in this world. And that is that we don't necessarily know how authentic they're really being. And I'm going to say 9 times out of 10 from my experience with them is that they're mostly assholes behind the scenes.
That is true. Robert,
If you get a blunt instrument to the head, that will kill you, but if you drop the soap, it won't kill you. I think this is kind of funny and a very accepted kind of joke amongst gay and straight people. You hope that, as you said in your intro, Republicans, are very anti-gay for the most part.
even though a lot of them are,
very true.
Vestibules of anti-gay, we don't like gay people, yet they're shagging.
Can we just be
behind
really clear about something though?
Yeah.
This isn't about LGBTIQ. This is about violence in a prison. So we're not talking about queer. So when they came after her and they said, this is a derogatory towards queer people, I actually don't see it as anything to do with queer people at all. It's violence in a prison that's sexually aggressive, and that's got nothing to do with the community that I'm a part of. So whilst we can try and have a laugh at what Deborah was saying, that what she was coming from and the root of her intent was disgusting. So why bother?
So, but you're saying though it's a violence issue as opposed to a homophobic issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it's not that. It's disgusting in general. I mean, people go to prison because they've committed crimes, and that's the violence that actually happens inside prisons. Whether or not you deem what that person's crime was necessary to be assaulted like that in prison, that comes down to the individual. But I don't think it's fair, and I don't think it's funny. And I think that Deborah Messing should, along with a lot of people on social media, be deactivated for a 12 to 24-hour period to have an opportunity.
I've often thought though, we've often said,
To think.
like when a pedophile gets caught, we're like, well, he'll get prison justice.
Sure.
And I've got to tell you, I'm all for that.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not for that. I don't necessarily think it's appropriate to be hoping that... I mean, I do remember with, what's his name? Robert Hughes from Hey Dad. Now, when he went to prison, the first story the next day was that people were throwing urine and feces at him as he was being put into prison. Now, there was a lot of people out there saying that's appropriate and that's what should have happened to him. And I understand that what he did probably deserves some of the heinous punishments that a person could give out. But I still don't think that's appropriate behaviour in a prison.
Well, so we're going to disagree on that one because I do. He gets whatever he gets coming to him, throw it all at him. The book and the urine.
Oh, sweet.
What a great way to go into the next segment. I think there's something in that for all of us.
All right. Yes. A sex worker in New Zealand has filed a sexual harassment claim against a business owner and won a 6-figure sum. The identity of the worker will remain confidential, but the case was possible due to New Zealand's laws that surround sex work. In 2003, the country decriminalised prostitution, and in 2014 ruled that sex workers are protected from sexual harassment. Robbo, do you think this is workable? Can a sex worker say, I don't want jokes of a sexual nature in my workplace, even though I work in a brothel?
Yeah, look, I think you can, and I'm really impressed with this. This is really progressive in that way. I'm stop hitting my mic now. But I think it is really progressive because if sex workers are professionals, that's the most important thing to remember. They are doing a professional job that is no longer illegal, depending on what state you're in and what kind of rules there are. But this is an important step forward because if you're a brothel owner, you have to treat your employees with respect like anywhere. Now, the brothel owner is not engaging in sex work with the prostitute, as we would understand it. So that means that he can't, or she can't rather, look down on or patronise or harass that person. It should just be like, which what it is essentially a business transaction, isn't it? So it's, you've got so-and-so in room 3, he's paid or she's paid for an hour, and then, but that's okay, but that should be the extent of it. She then the sex worker, or he or she comes out of it, he or she comes out of the room, money's paid, and that's all tickety-boo. You shouldn't then get from your business owner or the brothel manager any kind of harassment apart from that, because you're not engaging in that.
I agree about the harassment, but what is harassment? You know, like some of this was language based, and some of the jokes involved. You know, like let's take TV. A lot of swearing happens behind the scenes of TV. Some of your most loved celebrities swear like sailors behind the scenes. So is that harassment? Could someone, you know, people don't go to work in TV to hear swearing and hear effing and jeffing. You know, like, would that be a case?
No, I think it's in context, actually. So I think that if, and I'm going to make a vast generalisation here, but if you're a sex worker, you're kind of open and used to what you're saying in TV, is that people who work in the TV industry...
The jokes, you know, sexual innuendo.
But that, to me, that must mean that it went much further than that, because I would assume that a sex worker working in a brothel, you know, isn't a shrinking violet, isn't someone who hasn't heard a lot of stuff before, isn't someone possibly that has said a lot of stuff before.
But we'd always like to treat people. I don't know. I'm being so serious today, and I feel like I'm.
We're doing our hot button issues. This is a serious part of the show. We're having a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of fun a little later, but these are our hot button issues. You be serious.
Sorry, Ben. Sorry, just really quick. I think that there is a definite line that you can still do, both in TV and any kind of media. Any kind of industry you're doing. I could only assume that whatever was being said or done was really quite bad, and bad enough. And unfortunately, and one final point, I wish that we knew the details more, because that would actually help everyone go, well, because the majority of people I think who would watch this story go, well, she's a prostitute, like she works in this, like who cares, like, you know, that's what it is. What I'd like to hear what it was, because then that I think would change the narrative of the story and say, well, no, that is bad.
Look, some of it that I read was about the language, Ben, and that to me, that's why I'm drawing that analogy with swearing on TV. You know, like, I would suggest that in a brothel, you're going to hear some sexual innuendo.
I think we'd like to always treat people with respect, and in an ideal world, no one should be using that sort of language. But at the end of the day, just like being a famous person, and that's the career that you take, so you might face harassment, and we can sit there going, oh, leave them alone, which is my stance. At the end of the day, the decision for you to make that career choice means that you are going to be pretty much aware that that can be quite confronting to a lot of people. And when people are fearful of something or they're estranged to something, people's reactions to those things can be actually quite disgusting. You know, because they come from a place of fear and they'll say really derogatory things. At the end of the day, we would love to treat people who've decided to be sex workers with equal respect.
Absolutely.
But it's not what the world we are living in.
Yeah, but I totally agree with that. They deserve respect. They're professionals. They're doing a job. They're doing a job that people want. And thankfully, over the years, because it's been decriminalised around the world and around the country, it's safer for them to do that. And they should never be ridiculed for that kind of work.
Absolutely. I just saw the wide shot, and notice, Ben, you've got, Robert and I've got water, and you've managed to get a beer.
I actually decided to look after myself, so I brought myself a drink, and I was a little bit worried about my camera not working today, and I was a bit anxious, so I decided to bring down some booze to relieve the tension. Yesterday I had coffee to relieve tension. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. I'm not drunk, it's actually only 3%, but I may be intoxicated
although if
later.
there was a man named Jeff who was running this establishment and wanted to get us a white wine, Robbo, I'm sure we wouldn't have...
You finished their white wine last night.
No, I tried.
There's none left in the building!
It would be really quite lovely. Jeff's very
No, he's going in there to get it.
The Sauvignon Blanc, if he was still...
People watching the show yesterday could hear the water falling. That wasn't a storm. That was the white wine flowing. I was like, all right, okay, great. At the end, we're going to get a show bag where we all go to Betty Ford. It'll be fine. Do we have Betty Ford in this country?
I will say, after our dinner last night, I slept like a log.
Did Amanda with the snoring?
I actually got kicked out into the kids' room.
Robert, can you please tell that story about him being a train? What's that thing that you say?
Oh, so Rob and I
Because you slept together once.
Yeah, we've had a couple of sleepovers.
Not like that. Not like that.
No, a couple of sleepovers, but during that time, it's probably, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, whenever, and it's literally...
So I stayed at your place.
Yep, so that's the Sunshine Coast Express. It's a very big old train that just goes... and the walls rattle. The people on the other side of the house knew it. It was a sound that I don't think exists anywhere else in nature.
What did you say there? You said he stops at all stations.
Yeah, well, he just keeps stopping at the same station, unfortunately.
Anyway, well...
Great. You all know I snore. There you go.
We snore shamed him. That's
Yeah, that's
All
right.
All right. A Gold Coast mother has shared her terrifying ordeal as she was confronted in a road rage incident after picking her kids up from kindergarten. According to the mother, the driver came flying up behind her, sat inches away from the car, and almost sideswiped them while overtaking. This is what followed that incident.
What's that car doing?
I don't know.
Are you gonna send that to the policeman?
You can do whatever
What's
you
that?
want. Okay? You break again, and I run into you.
That's
you
what I'm doing the whole time.
That's what I'm doing. You. What about up there? You cut in front
See,
of
I've
me.
got children in
You're
my
a
car. You're
dog,
stopped in the middle
and
of
you
the
can
road.
record it, and you can call the police. You're a dog.
That was a lot of beeping. Gold Coast police are investigating the incident. This is interesting because we haven't seen the incident. Now, did he... Oh, hello. A bit round of applause for Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Good on you, Jeffy. Oh, thank you. Oh,
there we go.
don't touch my hair.
That's Jeff who's been looking after us. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
That's not like
Hair
you.
of the dog.
Unwanted male attention.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, okay, so what we've got here, I'm interested in the fact that the guy, what happened beforehand, and I know we've heard the point of view from the mum, but I don't know if she's had a go at him or what. What I am finding on the roads is a lack of tolerance. You know, I told you the story the other day how I was in the wrong lane.
We don't have
Oh,
time
God.
for that. We don't have time for that story. I'll summarize for you. Nothing happened. Nothing.
I got really hot then. I got a hot flush. Like,
I wasn't going to tell
I
the
had a
whole story, but
flashback for it,
basically,
yeah.
the guy gave me the finger. Even though I wasn't cutting him off, I waited for him to pass, and I needed to come over. I was in the wrong lane.
I've cut Rob's mic now, which is fantastic because I'm right.
Something that we've always wanted to happen on this
I've
show.
always wanted that power.
Yeah,
and I'm-
thank you.
There it is. Sorry,
Okay.
Rob.
And because we're all because the microphone bleed, I had to mind. But anyway, it was theatre.
Yeah.
I don't know that this mum wasn't getting in there and needling the guy.
Well, this is the problem these days with these videos, is that people want the clicks, they want the attention, so we don't actually see the context of a lot of the stuff that we're seeing. And so, is it set up? We'll never know. But is that kind of behaviour bad regardless of the crime? Is another issue.
Yes.
You know, at the end of the day, I just think when it comes to being on the road, it's actually really dangerous. And I don't know about anyone else because there has been a significant change when it came to Melbourne's driving. But I would say that Melbourne's driving has become quite scary after coronavirus because we're all back on the road and people aren't catching public transport.
Yes.
There's more people on the road, they're more impatient. And my biggest concern is the amount of people on their phone because I've actually found that I have to already beep my horn just when the lights change. And do you know why? Because everyone's on their phone.
Yeah.
And so look, at the end of the day,
How long do you wait? Do you like?
I beep straight away.
Are you hovering? Like
I
they
beep-
haven't gone beep.
and that's why I stuck my finger up at you, because I just beep straight away. Come on, mate. Pull yourself together.
But I agree with you, though. It doesn't matter what happened beforehand, and probably something did happen because people love to push record once the initial action has happened. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't condone or accept that kind of. I agree with you.
Yeah.
People shouldn't act like that. You know what? Get a grip. Grow up. You know, it all happens.
Well, I'm bad because I'm sitting there saying that I beat people, but what I should be saying is that we should be kinder on the road. We shouldn't be so impatient, and we should be more respectful of other people on the road. But at the end of the day, we can't always say what we should say.
That's right.
You just beat the horn at
because-
people.
I love you, Ben, because on this show you're all about love and happiness. Last night, bitching like a trooper. No.
I'd love to say it's untrue, but it's the only thing that McKnight has ever said that wasn't exaggerated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But when I beep, can I just tell you, when I beep my horn,
Yes.
I like to hold it for a long time.
Yeah.
That's what makes me feel better. So I don't go beep. I hold that horn for a.
See, that's an aggressive beat.
Oh, no, I'm
if you
being
just
very-
give a toot, if you give a
Oh.
beep, you're like letting them know the lights are gone and all that kind. If you do a beep, you're like
It's aggressive.
totally aggressive.
But I think you call that a bip. You don't call it a toot because a toot is something different. If you're tooting at them, then that's a very loud tooter. And they should be scared. I've heard your toots, and they're a loud toot. Anyway.
You know. Well, it's been a year we won't be forgetting, and Google has revealed the most searched for items by Australians. Overall, the US election was what we were searching the most, and in the top 5, 3 were related to coronavirus, with the term itself at number 2, Zoom at number 4, and coronavirus symptoms at number 5. The US election and coronavirus were both the most searched news topics as well, along with the phrases fires near me and toilet paper. And the most searched Australian public figure was former North Melbourne coach Danny Laidley. Is that right? Laidley?
Laidley, yeah.
After leaked photos surfaced following her gender affirmation surgery, she was followed by Celeste Barber, Gladys Berejiklian, George Pell, and Quaden Bales. Ben, I'm always there's a reason I'm coming to you and not Robbo. What were you searching for this year?
The most was what was I searching for the most? The same thing as every year, my own name. Just drinking white wine at home and Googling myself. The winner of Big Brother, and there's me sitting there clicking, drinking, having a good time.
Wait. Were you on Big Brother?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
A euphemism? Like you'd done the search and then you started Googling yourself?
Yeah, it's almost like you saying, me asking you whether you're on Studio 10. It's literally in our, like it's what people say about our show. We always fall back to our crutch.
Well, that's...
And there we go.
That's a different search.
That's a different search.
Yeah.
What about you, Robbo? What have you been searching?
I'm scared to think.
No, I search stupid things like why is the McDonald's emblem yellow, or why do squirrels put lots of nuts in their mouth? Like I just think of things as I'm walking along, and I just go, well, I wonder why that is, or why is light white? Like that, it's so boring, but it's a snapshot.
You're a truth seeker.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's some symptoms of a sociopath, but that's all right. I think there's something weird going on, but yeah, and I like to search myself.
And what about you?
Mine is very boring. I literally don't do any what I would call recreational searching. I mostly search for the work stuff we're doing, like why isn't VMix working, or why are the storms coming when I never have rain on my shoots?
Or is there going to be a booze bus on the way to McDonald's? Because that will ruin the fact that you've been to McDonald's, because Amanda will find the bill.
That's true. That is true.
I know where all the Maccas are, let me tell you that. Look, it was the biggest Me Too court case Australia has ever seen, and we finally know the verdict. It's time for a hit of entertainment with Benjamin Norris. Ben, what's going on here?
Well, Craig McLachlan has been found not guilty of indecently assaulting his former co-stars. The 55-year-old originally charged with 7 counts of indecent assault and 6 common law assault charges, which has come about from 4 of the actresses that he co-starred on the musical classic The Rocky Horror Picture Show, which had been on tour throughout the country. Look, at the end of the day, there's been a lot of discussions about Craig McLachlan, and Rob, you often say this on the show about innocent until proven guilty. It is a bit of a shock to hear that he has been cleared of all of those charges when a lot of people were saying that he was guilty. He's lost work. He's had shows cancelled.
Yep.
I mean, I think we're going to see a defamation court case come about as the sequel to this. And if now we know, is it right that he comes after that sort of money? I mean, he has lost a lot
innocent.
of...
Yeah,
he's innocent in the eyes of the law. So, absolutely, it's right. Here is my big problem. As soon as there is a slight scandal, and if he was found guilty, this was a big scandal, but he wasn't found guilty, and they were about to shoot the Dr. Blake Mysteries with Channel 7. He got axed from that and replaced, and the show didn't do any great business. You know, so a franchise was a whole franchise was destroyed. This show was so big on the ABC that 7 picked it up. I understand why 7 would be wary, but you see this, whether it's Netflix and especially the big US, someone just has to make an accusation and people are getting fired. There is a thing called due process and innocent until proven guilty. And as far as I'm concerned, people should not be losing their jobs until they're found guilty in a court of law. Of course, Robbo, we know that celebrities are paid well because they draw audiences, but I'm still not convinced McLachlan wouldn't have drawn audiences.
No, you're right, but at the end of the day, whether there are lots of accusations or not, he was found not guilty. And I think that
But the Me Too movement has a lot to answer for, because at the end of the day in this country, the second biggest case is Jeffrey Rush, and also found not guilty, and also found to be given a lot of compensation. I mean, it's unfortunate that the nature of the beast when it comes to an accusation is we as humans will think, okay, that might have happened. And before it's actually determined, shouldn't it be an okay due process to put a pause on someone But what I would like to know more about is once somebody has been proven not guilty, where does the compensation come for the money that they missed out on?
Well, this is a really big question.
good point.
Can he countersue? And this, I don't know the answer to that question, but presumably he could. But I don't know that you can sue for defamation when you've brought a court case, or when there has been a court case, because unless the allegations were made outside of the court case, because anything you allege in court is not defamatory; it's part of the case. So I think there are protections there. So that's the fact. The guy just misses out on all that money he would have made. I think it's appalling how we just jump to this cancel culture on this.
Yeah, I do too, because it's one of those things where the accusation, the mud sticks.
Absolutely.
And the mud sticks straight away. So,
Do you know what was really strange though in this situation, and that is what it comes to the nature? I've worked in theatre when I was growing up, and there is a very bawdy, sexualised nature behind the scenes. And I think that's more the concern now, because I think, like we always say, and you started me on this, and that is that people need more education on better behaviour. And within the theatre sect, from everything I remember, you know, after parties, behind the scenes, you're taking your clothes off, you're getting changed, and people are got red blood, flowing through their body, and it's been sort of deemed that this bawdy behaviour is okay. So I think moving forward, we need to start to be more clear about what's appropriate behaviour in a workplace, regardless if you're being paid $1 or $1 million, and regardless of whether you're the butcher, the baker, or the lead in a show.
yes, which I agree with, but this kind of really nicely connects back to what we were talking about with the NZ sex worker, is that even a hyper-sexualised show, and this was brought up during the initial announcement of this case, was it's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. If excuse me, if everyone's ever seen it, it's hyper-sexualised.
Yeah.
But the same as the sex worker, there are particular things, especially in a theatre show, that are just choreographed. There is no reason, and the accusation was that he was a bit too feely upper. There's no reason to do that because the job doesn't require that. His job as an actor is to follow pre-choreographed, pre-made-out blocking, and if he didn't do that, that's the problem.
So you've never ad-libbed?
You don't ad-lib a touch-up.
No.
No, but...
No, that's what I'm saying. You don't... The scene was in a bed, and the way they do that on the stage show is the bed is vertical, and the blanket just comes up as an effect, and they're there, and they're, whatever. I would assume that you would choreograph or block that in a way that it looks like the blanket's moving, but you're not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So we know that when we get into the role of Brad and Janet or Frankenfurter, you're doing this because you don't need to do this. If this happened, that's the problem. But we all know how to behave in a workplace. So it's a hypersexualized show. We know what to do. We don't do it.
Can I just quickly finish on something? And that is that I didn't want to take away from these women at the same time. Yes, they made an allegation because that was the emotion that they felt. And in the documents that have come out today, the judge has said that they came forward and they told their truth. And there's some merit in that as well. So, I just want to make sure that people in Australia now don't go after those women.
My truth might be that I was abducted by aliens. Doesn't mean it's true.
For whatever reason, the judge has decided not to deem him responsible for this.
Yeah.
But she has also made a clear indication that it's great. I guess she might be scared about these women and women in general.
So you're saying the mud has to stick? The public court of public opinion
but we
needs to find
can't
him
use
guilty?
this case to frighten all women from coming forward and telling their story.
No, of course
and that
not.
is that is a very clear point to make. So these women who are out there that have made those allegations, I really do hope that their careers aren't affected either. They only spoke their truth. They have had an intermediate come in, which is the court of the law.
Yeah.
And I just think that we don't want to frighten women.
I
Take a
agree
step
with
back.
that, but that takes away from his innocence. That he has been found in a court of law of being innocent, and you're saying we can't take that.
Nothing happens
in
in a straight line. It doesn't. And when it comes to this sort of stuff, we can't be as cut and dried. I can understand why the court has made those decisions. I wish I actually had that quote to say exactly what the magistrate said, because it was very clever, but it was to say that they came forward and spoke their truth, that they were brave to come forward, and that is still a clear message to say to women out there that might have been in a situation. Because I will tell you one thing, and that is that from my friends that have been in similar situations, it never plays out like a movie. If something has happened to you, it's in your mind thinking, did that happen to me? And that's what happens to women. And it takes somebody else to mediate that and to make it clear. And I think that there is some clear messages in this court case. I'm glad that Craig McLaughlin is innocent, and that's what has been said. But I also hope women feel that they can come forward and tell their truth.
Yeah, of course.
Very well said, Ben.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Livinia Nixon burst onto our screens in 1997 on Hey Hey It's Saturday and has been with us ever since as an actress, radio host and presenter. This year she will be co-hosting the Carols by Candlelight on Christmas Eve with David Campbell. And she's joining us on the line. Sorry. Lavinia, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, look, you know I'm a big fan of yours. I've known you for a few years now, working together with you at 9 News. You've always been very generous to me. Is that why you are one of the stalwarts of the industry? You survive over everyone because you are so lovely and you're really good at what you do.
We need to chat more up and Rob. You're very good at pumping up my tyres.
Well,
sorry. I touched the cord. Don't touch anything.
Hey, look,
Rule number
after
one for
yesterday's
Carol,
show,
don't touch anything.
after yesterday's show, we can cop with a quick camera falling over. Hey, you are hosting the Carols by Candlelight this year. This is an exciting event for you to be hosting, isn't it?
It is. It's wonderful. And, you know, we have a family tradition that always involves watching carols, whether it's at home or luckily because we're based in Melbourne, we get to go to the event. And it is such a wonderful, spectacular, sparkly kind of night. And there's so much love in the air as well. And it's really the perfect way to kickstart Christmas. And I think that 2020 has been such a challenging year for so many people. And I know a lot of us just want to put it behind us and move on. And I think that Christmas is the perfect time to reset, forget, and bring a little bit of joy to the world.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. And look, you are the perfect choice for this because you're from Melbourne. You've had such a vast experience, you know. Why hasn't this happened before, Lavinia?
Well, it's the first year I've been asked to do it. So I am spectacularly delighted. I told the children and their faces went like this. So they can't quite believe it and I can't quite believe it. And I think it'll just be a beautiful, wonderful night. And I can't wait to get it underway. I know it's only a minute away and Christmas will be here, but I'm such a Christmas file. I'll tell you something. I put up the tree on Melbourne Cup Day. That's how much I love Christmas.
You went way too early. But anyway,
I do it every year. I do it every year because December just isn't long enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you doing the event, especially a Melbourne person hosting it. But does your background with Hey Hey It's Saturday give you the chops to be able to host an event like this? Like live TV is nothing to you.
Well, no, live TV, I think the minute that you think you've got a handle on it is the minute that it comes back and bites you. So you always need to be respectful of what's happening around you. Well, we're lucky we have incredible performers, but I do think that my background of, you know, ad-libbing on Hey Hey, working on radio, you know, you always have to have something to say on radio, being on the road with Getaway, postcards, you know, there's so many different skills that you gather over the years. And I remember texting a friend and I just said, I'm so nervous about hosting Carols by Candlelight. And he said, don't underestimate how match fit you are. Because, you know, I do live television every night. I work on the news in Melbourne. So you always have to be on your toes. You always have to be prepared. And I think if you've done your preparation...
Look at you. You know what you're doing. We're seeing those clips of Hey Hey It's Saturday. You definitely have the chops for this.
Well, that's a different ball game because really you're just one person in a big wheel. But this one, it's just David and I introducing all those incredible performers. So, you know, luckily David and I have worked together on Today Extra.
Yes.
You know, I was filling in for Sonia a long time ago when she was off with her other TV commitments. So we do have a nice relationship. We do trust each other. He's a wonderfully generous performer and I just feel like hopefully the night will go swimmingly.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Look, you really are the consummate professional and you deserve every success. And seriously, one of my favourite Logies moments for me was I was just there and you came up and said, "G'day, Rob," and I was like, "Oh, Livinia Nixon knows who I am. How lovely is that?" And I managed to get a photo.
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, we go back a long way, as you said before, to Channel 9. So, you know, it's always wonderful to see happy smiling faces on the red carpet at the Logies, because there's a few people trying to take you down.
Oh, ain't that the truth? But we will certainly never be taking you down, Livinia Nixon, because we all love you. I think I speak on behalf of all of Australia. No ifs, no buts. Hey, Vision Australia's Carols by Candlelight returns to Christmas Eve on 8 p.m. on 9 and 9 Now. Lavinia, thank you so much for joining us on the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Thanks, Rob, and Merry Christmas to all your listeners or your watchers or your Facebookers, and to you three as well. Have a wonderfully relaxing break after such a difficult year. I think we all deserve to recharge our batteries and get ready for whatever 2021 has in store for us. Oh,
I couldn't agree more. Bring on 2021. Lavinia, thanks so much.
thanks, Rob.
Oh, now it's time for What Happened This Day in History with Robbo.
Big day in 1939, the premiere of Gone with the Wind, one of your favourite movies, Rob. It starred Clark Gable, Vivian Leigh and Hattie McDonald. And Hattie McDonald was the first African-American to ever win an Oscar. Brilliant work there. Also, it was on this day in 1973, we can just take a look at some samples here, that the American Psychiatrists Association said that homosexual is no longer a mental disorder. So that's lovely there. Thank God for that.
Role played it to me.
No.
We're going to have a wide shot of the both of us.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Yeah. And also, staying with the homo theme, it was on this day in 1997 that the Spice Girls released Spice World, which was... It was certainly a movie. Rory, oh yeah, here we go, Rory. Yeah, this is one of Rory's favourite songs. Yeah, Rory. Rory, you like this song? Oh, I love it. Yeah, he does. Woo! And the kids are dancing here at the Brisbane Holiday Village. Look at them busting a move. We see Scary, we see Sporty, Mel B, Mel C, and Ginger. That's all on this day in history. Rob, back to you, bud.
Thank you, Robbo. Well, it's not an easy task to bring Hollywood to Brisbane, but that's exactly what our next guest has been doing. Kristen Suvlas. Suvlas? Thank you.
Suvlas.
I can't even get my own name right, so I apologise. Kristen Suvlas, along with her business partner Nadine Bates, have created Like a Photon, a production company who are seriously kicking goals both here and around the world. And Kristen joins us now. Kristen, welcome to the Ben Rob.
Great to be with you.
We are thrilled, seriously thrilled to have you here. But let's talk about
I'm a big deal.
You are a big, no, seriously. No, don't talk yourself down. And
That's what I'm good at.
because you produced your own full-length feature film.
Yes.
The Wishman's Tree last year.
Wishmas.
I like Wishman's.
Yeah, no. No, we'll go with
Your
Wishmas.
actually is very far away.
The Wishmas tree.
Wishman's Tree, yes.
Wishmas Tree,
Yes.
tell me about this, because I'm always impressed when people go outside the norms. And like we do with this show, you producing your own film. Tell us about this.
Yes, so The Wishman's Tree is the first feature film in the Tales from Sanctuary City franchise. So it's a series of 3 films that we're releasing in a pandemic year.
Yeah.
Guys, we released movies to cinema in a pandemic.
How'd that go for you?
Well, actually, look, it took us behind the curtain and what actually happens in how films make it to you, the audience.
Sure.
So, you know, instead of going to cinema and then maybe it goes to DVD in 90 days, it was just like cinema, streaming on demand. Now it's going to DVD. Now it's going back to streaming on demand.
Can I ask you a question about this? Because I think it's what everyone's talking about. Has the pandemic really sped up the end of cinema? Because
Yes.
I mean,
Good question.
Yes.
and
I believe
unfortunately,
so,
if you
yes.
think about growing up, for me, so much of my childhood was about the community of cinema and the power of sitting in a cinema with other people you don't know and watching a film and connecting. I think is the magic of movies. But, you know, there's a lot of people talking about it. You've seen Christopher Nolan coming forward talking about his aggression towards Warner Brothers for deciding to release things straight to streaming services. What do you think we can do to protect and save cinema? Because that culture is important.
Look, it is really important, that culture. What we've actually seen is not so much the death of cinema, but the redistribution of how content makes it to your screens, and cinema as an event space, as opposed to an everyday occurrence. So you're not going to see those huge, long 6-week cinema releases anymore.
Sure.
But what you will see is more community events, more event-driven stuff where you're the experience of going to the cinema is actually part of why you're going.
Yeah.
Because what we've done in the pandemic is trained all of our audiences really well to sit on the couch and pay $30 for something.
Yeah, but is that a good thing for filmmakers like yourself? Because, you know, there is something special about having your film in a cinema, and this is where Nolan's gone off the deep end with Warner Brothers, who are releasing everything next year on their streaming service the same day and date as cinema.
Yeah.
As a filmmaker, what do you want?
At the end of the day, it's about that prestige, and the prestige is really connected to ego. And so when you think about, like, I'm going to release a film, and the bad thing used to be like, oh, it never made it to cinema, it just went straight to DVD. It went straight to DVD. It's a terrible thing. Now things are going straight to DVD, straight to SVOD, straight to PVOD, which is the straight PVOD and SVOD.
You just turned into C-3PO.
I did.
No idea what you said.
Excuse me.
Weirdly, I knew exactly what you were saying.
Okay. For the people playing at home,
That was C-3PO.
Yeah, no,
Did you get it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, no, I like you.
I'm trying.
I'm
highly trained.
I think we found our fourth panelist.
Oh, God, no. Please, no. Anyway, so sorry. Yes.
Was that a statement about our show?
No. I've already pitched Kristen for this. I said she's got to be a fourth panelist. So I've already done it. So
well, I can play the role of human woman.
Yes, I love that. And you're so good at it.
Mate,
I've got a couple of notes.
But yeah, please.
All three of us have been trying on the show to do that for a long time. Yeah.
Oh my God. Look, let's get back to it a little bit here.
I'm so sorry. Yes, so yeah. About the DVD, used to be straight to DVD, now you're going to the acronyms. It's about how do you reach your audience now? If the audience isn't going to cinema, why would you want your film there?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's history, it's culture, it's an experience. So that's kind of what we're trying to preserve, and why we've done kind of limited releases for The Wishmas Tree, Combat Wombat, Daisy Quokka, World's Scariest Animal, the third one that's coming out. And it's about getting kind of kids and going to the cinema as a community and a family. And then, how else do you get that content out there? Because cinemas are also about access.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have a cinema in your hometown or area.
True.
They may not now because so many of them are shutting down.
Well, that's it. And that is really sad. And it has kind of accelerated that disruption of the physical theatre space.
So, Mesh, tell me.
Mesh,
tell me, what's it like to go into a space that is already have a lot of big players like Disney? Is it really intimidating?
Yeah.
Did that ever put you off?
Yes. It put everyone off at all times.
Yeah.
So Disney has an absolute monopoly on how we get into cinemas. They basically buy big cinema blocks, and just whatever movie is coming out and ready, they kind of then market it. We're going up against huge marketing spend. So movies regularly
this
get
is my question.
$3 million to $5 million in the Australian market. We could spend $150,000 marketing our film.
Wow.
So there is a big disadvantage there, but what we're trying to do is build a library of films for an Australian audience, which has gone global, 25 different territories around the world. We were number 2 in the box office in Poland.
Yeah.
Hey!
The Poles love it.
Yeah. How many people are in Poland?
A lot.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
A lot.
Yeah.
It made a bit of money there.
Do you think, though, that when it comes to getting people back into Australian cinemas, that we need to actually tell stories about Australia without limiting us to, say, crime? And whilst we do need to explore things like Aboriginal culture and things that are touching us, but we're not truly represented for who we are in this country in cinema. And without doing that, it's not bringing bums on seats.
Yeah, it's a hard balance. There's the commercial aspect of cinema, and what you're doing is playing to an audience. We're quite a commercial kind of enterprise. We're kids' films. You know, we bake in stuff to our scripts like kindness and empathy, and we have all Australian animals. But at the end of the day, you know, these were low-budget films. We wanted to get Australians, kids, to see their own accents on screen,
which is so important.
It is, but that's a cultural aspect, and that's why the government is set up to invest in these types of films as well. To invest in the cultural aspect. But is that the kind of film that you actually puts bums on seats? At the end of the day, not really.
But it hasn't proven that on television screens, because television shows being mass-produced at the moment. We saw Halifax Retribution last year, huge dollars going into that, but it didn't bring the numbers that you'd expect previously that we would get. You know?
The only reason that matters is because of ad revenue. And so the model is broken.
Wow.
So the only reason that you want big numbers on those screens and don't want to just play it forever and have it as a cultural kind of thing.
Can we do a whole show on you? Can we?
Seriously?
We sure will. But we should do a show also on her work. Combat Wombat, your second feature film, released this year.
It's funny.
It's good. Okay, you know what? Let's have a look at the trailer right now.
Oh, okay.
And we're back live in Sanctuary City, where an unidentified sugar glider is unable to glide to safety.
Somebody do something!
Is there anything you want to say to the animals of Sanctuary City?
Yeah, I'm going back to bed. Yeah, I'm not a superhero kid.
But you saved the day. That's what superheroes do. What you need is a sidekick who can teach you how to be a true superhero.
You are no superhero. You're a superstar!
You've inspired me to give up my dreams of becoming a doctor to become a superhero.
I'm already regretting this.
Welcome to the world of crime fighting.
Beaks on the floor! Don't play anything smart on me! I'm very smart! I'm smarter than all of you!
Breaking news, are the bushy-tailed bandits back in action?
This is our moment, sweetie.
Defender of Sanctuary City, Combat Wombat! Anyone can be a hero.
Lightless feather coming through.
You just don't know it yet.
Ready?
Ready! Superhero montage! Well, that's the life we live as superheroes. All we need is a citizen in need. I'm a citizen in need!
Well, that's extremely convenient.
I really
Brilliant.
That was brilliant. And
Yes.
If you haven't seen The Wishmas Tree or Combat Wombat, do yourself a favour and buy or rent them. You're supporting the Australian cinema, or the Australians. 2 women are running this company, and that's a world first, isn't it?
It's in Australia, yeah. We're the only female-owned animation studio in Australia.
That's
Brilliant.
Look,
Yeah.
and for more information about the amazing thing that Kristen and her team are up to, head to photon.com.
Like a photon.
Photon.com.
Likeaphoton.com.
Not quite a photon, it's
Like a photon.
We've got to write these things better. All right. Thank you so much for being
Thanks
with
for
us.
having me.
We are
Thank you so
totally
much.
getting you back. Jeff has a little treat for Robbo. Robbo, we know that you can't go a whole show without some food.
Well, he sent me a text or a sex.
No,
He said, I want a curry in a hurry, and he bagged my sausage yesterday. And most people love the sausage, so it's a curry. So
Most people who nibble on Jeff's
I want to
sausage.
see you have a bite right now. Okay?
Is it hot?
No, it's
I had it
mild.
the other night, Robbo. Not hot
Get
at
the
all.
meat into you, Robbo.
Get the actual meat.
Robbo, get the
Is it delicious?
Jeff, I'll have another wine after that one. All right.
I'll have a
All right, while Robbo recovers, we totally set it in there. Yeah, we really did. But you didn't eat the meat. That would have been 10 times better if you had.
No, this is still pretty bad. You want some?
Good. All right, it's time for some entertainment now. And Ben,
Yeah.
is your name. With the ratings for The Bachelorette down on year, could 10 be looking to another famous face to boost the brand?
Yes, well, I think this is either going to go one way or another, but Nikki Webster has revealed that she is keen to be the next bachelorette.
Oh my God, Nikki Webster.
I want to make this really clear at this point. No one's actually offered this to her. She has just had an interview with the Woman's Day. But look, the 33-year-old Strawberry Kisses singer who rose to the fame following her performance in the 2000 Sydney Olympics told Woman's Day she's keen to take on the reality TV role. Just to let you know, we saw her in The Masked Singer, so she's familiar with reality TV. But look, we had Sophie Monk and Angie Kent, who both were previously known, and I think Channel 10 are looking to say reboot the brand and get those ratings back because the twins, they really let the show down.
Well, we saw this. Sophie Monk was great for Channel 10 because she actually revitalised the brand. You know, like she got viewers there. So the idea of a famous name who's putting a hand up is probably a great thing for 10. Hey, Cher has had an amazing career. But today she's actually shared a really shocking story.
Yeah, this is actually quite chilling. So Cher has said that a man tried to kill her, and she said this happened while she was trying to make it into a Broadway theatre. I can tell you that this happened in the mid-'80s, but the music icon has opened up about this near-death experience in which a man grabbed her and said, "If you make a sound, I'll kill you." Now, interestingly enough, Cher is now 74 years of age. Had Cher been murdered at that time, it would have been one of the biggest stories in the biz. But look, at the end of the day, thankfully, she has managed to survive. And there's a lot of people online throwing her some shade about this, basically saying, you know, is it real? Did it happen? But had this have happened, you know, it's pretty damn outrageous.
So what, people are accusing her of making this up?
A lot of people online are saying Cher's just coming out there to get a bit of attention. But I will say that this actually...
Maybe she's trying to get attention for that elephant she's invested in. Hasn't she been talking on all these talk shows about an elephant?
I think we'll have to get into that a little bit later. I haven't heard about Cher with any elephants.
No, Google it. Cher and the elephant. Hang on.
Here, actually, because I've got some milk and some wine because my mouth is on fire. So the only thing I can do, and the only thing I will do...
Oh, drink it all. Drink it all. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's curdled. It curdled.
That was another setup. We gave you old milk.
I love doing this show. No,
I didn't know you were going to put... Ben and I, Jeff has just topped up Ben and I's glasses, and you're not.
And let's face it, Robbo, you've put worse in your mouth, so you'll be fine.
I
don't know about that.
Would you like some wine to help it go down?
Yes.
What is going on? From two straight men, I'm confused. You say that you don't watch The Real Housewives, but it's very Real Housewives right now.
No. I mean, that was funny, but rightfully, that's gold.
I actually had for your mouth. I'm missed. I'm so the sportsman guy. Hey, we found out about Ellen, back on entertainment. We found out about Ellen was outed this year for being not a nice person, but another celebrity has now been outed.
Yeah, this one's kind of sad because, like, you know Howard Stern, we all know him for his brand basically being that, you know, he's a bit controversial, but he's the most popular shock jock. However, I think we're going to see more of this. Ellen got this cancel culture happening. I feel so bad because I feel like you're going to be like Linda Blair and your head's going to spin around and you're going to projectile. And all I know is the equipment is so expensive. So, I don't know. And I know for a fact we're not insured.
Just do it that way.
Yeah, I'll do it that way.
Yeah.
I promise.
I think once you threw the glass, I knew he could go better. So I'm just worried about how it affects me this way. Look, at the end of the day, Howard Stern, I'll just wrap this up, is a little bit concerned about the fact that people are coming out and saying that he's done some pretty outrageous things. One of the allegations, though, is that he didn't donate enough money to one of the crew members because his crew member's wife was dying of cancer. Yes, that sounds bad on paper, and yes, Howard Stern has a lot of money, but at the end of the day, he's still...
It's not his job to do that. And he is a bit of an ass. That's how he's become so popular.
And these people get fired because they're shit at their jobs, and then they come forward and say that, you know, the host is crazy. I'm going to say with Howard Stern that this is what Donald Trump calls fake news.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, guys, today has been a trial. I'm so happy with the way today has gone. I've really enjoyed the show. I'm turning up the wrong thing. Robbo, you are a real sport, and you know I love you.
Hey, touch me again. Don't break your fingers.
All right, everyone. We will see you tomorrow from the Ashmore Palms Holiday Village. Come and join us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. Thank you so much.